What lies beneath the most contested ground on Earth? Cut-to, dark underground chamber, water dripping, stone walls. For 70 years, scientists have been forbidden from looking here. Not because the technology didn't exist, but because what they might find could rewrite history. Quick cuts, ground-penetrating radar screens, seismic readings, ancient maps, recent scans have detected something. Massive voids. Chambers that shouldn't exist. Tunnels carved with precision that defies explanation. Aerial shot, the Temple Mount complex, vast and imposing, 35 acres of earth. Layer upon layer of civilizations. And beneath it all, something is waiting. Title card fades in, the forbidden ground. This is the story of what science has discovered, and what it cannot yet explain, why the Temple Mount is untouchable. Fade in, establishing shots of Jerusalem's old city. Narrator, the Temple Mount. To Jews, it is the foundation stone, the holiest site in their faith. To Muslims, it is Al-Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary, where the Prophet ascended to heaven. To Christians, it is where Jesus walked and taught. Aerial circling shot, the dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque, 35 acres. Roughly the size of 30 football fields. And every inch is claimed by competing narratives spanning 3,000 years. Pause, no ground on Earth carries more weight. Archival footage, protests, religious gatherings, political tensions. Since 1967, the site has been under Israeli sovereignty, but administered by the Jordanian Islamic Waqf. Any excavation, any archaeological survey, any attempt to drill or scan, requires permissions that are almost never granted. Close-up, security barriers, police presence, because what you find here doesn't just belong to science. It belongs to belief. To identity. To claims that nations and religions have staked their very existence upon. Fade to, empty plaza at night, and so for decades, while archaeologists explored every other corner of Jerusalem, this place remained sealed. Pause, until technology advanced enough to see, without digging. Sound, subtle tension building. To understand what might be hidden here, we must first understand what stood here. Animated map, Jerusalem through time. Around 1000 BCE, King David conquered this hilltop. His son, Solomon, would build something that would echo through history. Artistic recreation, Solomon's Temple, the first temple. According to biblical accounts, it housed the Ark of the Covenant. Its construction required cedars from Lebanon, gold from Ophir, and craftsmen from across the known world. Pause, it stood for nearly 400 years, until the Babylonians burned it to ash. Transition, flames dissolving to ruins. 70 years later, the exiled Jews returned. They built again. The second temple rose on the same site, but it was only a shadow of Solomon's glory. Time-lapse effect, centuries passing, then came Herod the Great. Dramatic reveal, Herodian expansion animations. In 19 BCE, Herod didn't just rebuild the temple. He transformed the entire mountain. He expanded the plaza, creating a platform held up by massive retaining walls. Some of those walls still stand today. Footage, the Western Wall, massive stone blocks. These stones weigh up to 600 tons. Moved without modern machinery. Fitted so precisely that even today, you cannot slide a blade between them. Close-up, ancient masonry joints. Herod created a wonder of the ancient world. And beneath it, he built something else. Pause, a labyrinth. Transition, animation of underground tunnels, cisterns to collect water. Storage chambers. Ritual baths. Miles of passages carved through bedrock. Some we've mapped. Others, we've only glimpsed. Archival footage, the Western Wall Tunnel. The Western Wall Tunnel runs for nearly a quarter-mile underground. When it was opened to tourists in 1996, riots erupted. 70 people died. Somber pause, because this isn't just archaeology. Every stone tells a story someone is desperate to prove, or desperate to deny. Fade to, ancient coins, pottery shards, inscriptions, and then came Rome. Sound, ominous drums. In 70 CE, the legions of Titus breached Jerusalem's walls. They burned the Second Temple. Jewish tradition says the destruction was so complete that not one stone was left upon another. Artistic recreation, temple burning, but stones still remained. Underground. Sealed in chambers. Buried in ash. Pause, and above the ruins, civilizations built again. Byzantine churches. Islamic shrines. Ottoman fortifications. Layered animation, civilization stacking like geological strata, each generation adding another layer to the mystery beneath. For decades, the question remained unanswered: what lies beneath? Footage, scientists with ground-penetrating radar equipment. Then, in the late 1990s and early 2000s, new technologies emerged. Technologies that could see through stone. Screen graphics, ground-penetrating radar principles. Ground-penetrating radar works by sending electromagnetic pulses into the earth.
Music licensing
When those pulses hit
reimagined.
different materials, stone, air, water, they bounce back at different speeds. Animated diagram, radar waves penetrating layers, build enough data, and you can create a three-dimensional map of what's hidden below, without moving a single stone. Pause. In 1998, a team of Israeli scientists conducted unauthorized scans near the Temple Mount.
Artlist.io.
The results were never publicly released. Tension building, but data suggests they detected something. Large cavities. Chambers that did not correspond to any known structures. Computer screen, blurred seismic readings. By
Music
2012,
licensing
more advanced
reimagined.
equipment was brought in. Seismic tomography, the same technology used to map Earth's tectonic plates, was adapted for archaeology. Scientific footage, sensors being placed, the findings were unexpected. Pause, let it hang. Scientists believe there are at least 36 distinct underground chambers beneath the Temple Mount. Some are known:
Artlist.io.
cisterns, ancient ritual baths, storage rooms. 3D render, known chambers highlighted, but others appear on the scans as empty space. Voids. Some as large as modern buildings. Dramatic zoom, highlighting unknown
Music
chambers.
licensing
One
reimagined.
anomaly detected in the southeastern quadrant measures approximately 40 meters in length. The scanners cannot determine what's inside, only that it's hollow. Pause. Another void, located beneath the dome of the rock itself, extends down at least 20 meters. The walls appear to be smooth, carved, not natural. Close-up, computer reconstruction, data suggests these
Artlist.io.
chambers are connected. A network of tunnels running beneath the entire plaza. Animation, tunnel network lighting up, some passages align with known Herodian construction. Others do not. Tension. In 2015,
Music
infrared
licensing
imaging from
reimagined.
satellites revealed thermal signatures inconsistent with solid bedrock. The pattern suggested open spaces, possibly with airflow. Satellite imagery. False color thermal maps. In 2019, a team from Tel Aviv University used AI to analyze decades of seismic data from the region. The algorithm identified structures buried so deep, they predate any known
Artlist.io.
civilization in Jerusalem. Computer screen, AI pattern recognition highlighting anomalies. The lead researcher said publicly, "We don't know what we're looking at. The geometry is too precise to be natural. But it's older than anything that should be there." Pause, so the question becomes, who built it? Fade TO, ancient construction animations, and why can't we go down there to find out? Sound, echo of footsteps in empty chamber, Fade IN, darkness, flashlight beam cutting through underground passage. Narrator, what we know is this: beneath the Temple Mount lies one of the most sophisticated ancient water systems ever constructed. Footage, Warren's Shaft and ancient water tunnels. In the 19th century, British archaeologist Charles Warren rappelled down a 40-foot shaft and discovered channels that brought water from the Gin Spring into the city. Historical drawings, Warren's expeditions. These tunnels date to the Bronze Age, roughly 1800 BCE. They were carved through solid limestone with copper tools. Close-up, ancient chisel marks on stone, the precision is extraordinary. The gradient calculated to allow water to flow without pumps. The engineering rivals anything the Romans built, 1500 years later. Pause, but the water system is only part of it. Transition, 3D scan data, rotating views. Recent scans have detected chambers that serve no obvious function. No cisterns. No storage. Just space. Anomaly highlight, large rectangular void, one chamber, designated anomaly 7 by researchers, measures approximately 15 meters by 30 meters. That's roughly the size of a basketball court. Comparison graphic, chamber overlaid on basketball court, its ceiling appears domed. Its walls symmetrical. It sits directly beneath the dome of the rock, and there is no known entrance. Dramatic pause, how do you build a chamber with no door? Fade TO, comparison imagery, this isn't the first time we've encountered such mysteries. At Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, stone temples dating to 9500 BCE were deliberately buried. Filled in. Sealed. Aerial footage, Göbekli Tepe excavation, no one knows why. Transition, Egyptian underground chambers, beneath the Giza Plateau, ground-penetrating radar has detected voids and tunnels that have never been accessed. Some researchers believe entire chambers remain hidden beneath the Sphinx. Thermal imaging, anomalies beneath Giza. At Machu Picchu, recent scans revealed passages beneath the main plaza, passages that lead nowhere. LiDAR scan, Peruvian ruins, the pattern repeats. Ancient sites, sacred grounds, hidden chambers. Pause, it's as if our ancestors built not just for the living, but for something they wanted to keep secret. Return TO, Temple Mount scans, but the Temple Mount is different. Because here, the secret is guarded not just by stone, but by politics, religion, and the certainty that whatever is found will ignite conflict. Archival footage,
Artlist.io.
protests, confrontations. In 1981, a Jewish extremist group attempted to tunnel beneath the mount, hoping to reach the site of the ancient Holy of Holies. They were arrested before they succeeded. News clips, riots following archaeological announcements.
Music
In
licensing
1996,
reimagined.
when Israel opened an exit to the Western Wall tunnel, Palestinians rioted, claiming the excavation threatened Al-Aqsa. The violence spread. Dozens died. Somber tone, every attempt to explore has led to bloodshed. Pause, and so the chambers remain sealed. The tunnels unmapped. The anomalies unexplained. Fade
Artlist.io.
TO, dark underground chamber, water dripping, waiting. To understand why these discoveries are so dangerous, you have to understand what's at stake. Montage, religious ceremonies, Jewish prayers at Western Wall, Muslim prayers at Al-Aqsa.
Music
For
licensing
religious Jews,
reimagined.
the Temple Mount is where God's presence dwelled on earth. The foundation stone, the rock now enclosed within the dome, is where Abraham prepared to sacrifice Isaac. Where Jacob dreamed of angels. Where the Ark of the Covenant once rested. Pause, rebuilding the Third Temple is, for some, a prerequisite for the Messianic age. Footage, religious
Artlist.io.
groups, ritual objects, but Islamic tradition holds that this is where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during the night journey. The Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque are among the holiest sites in Islam. Archival, historical photos of the dome, any suggestion that they
Music
were built over
licensing
earlier Jewish
reimagined.
structures is seen not as history, but as a threat. Political footage, diplomatic meetings, UN sessions, and politically, the status of Jerusalem is one of the most intractable issues in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Both sides claim the city as their capital. Both sides root that claim in history. Pause, so when archaeologists announce they found evidence of ancient
Artlist.io.
Jewish structures, it's not just an academic discovery. It becomes ammunition. News montage, headlines about archaeological finds, reactions. In 2007, Israeli archaeologists announced they found a quarry used to build the Second Temple.
Music licensing reimagined.
Palestinian officials immediately denounced the finding as fabricated, part of a campaign to erase Arab history. Interview footage, paraphrased expert commentary. One archaeologist, speaking anonymously, said, "I have data I cannot publish. Not because it's uncertain, but because if I do, people will die." Pause, let it sink in. Imagine discovering
Artlist.io.
something that rewrites religious belief. Now imagine you cannot share it, because revealing the truth could start a war. Fade TO, classified documents, redacted reports, many studies conducted on the Temple Mount remain classified. Scans performed by Israeli, Jordanian, and even international teams are locked away. Document close UPS, blurred text, restricted stamps. Some researchers believe that governments on all sides have detected things they've agreed never to disclose. Pause, what could be so dangerous? Fade TO, artist renderings of ancient temples, artifacts, perhaps evidence that challenges fundamental narratives. Perhaps artifacts that belong to no known culture. Tension building, or perhaps something else entirely. Fade TO, underground chamber recreation, torchlit. One Israeli geophysicist said publicly in 2018, "We know there are spaces down there that have been sealed for millennia." Whether they were sealed deliberately, or simply lost to time, we cannot say. But the engineering required to create them suggests a level of sophistication we have not attributed to that era. Pause, translation, someone built something incredible. And we don't know who, or why. Sound, wind howling through stone corridors, title card, theories, speculation based on data, narrator, what follows are theories. Not facts. Not confirmed discoveries. But possibilities, drawn from the evidence we have. Fade in, 3D render of underground chambers, Theory 1, Lost Archives. Some researchers speculate that the chambers beneath the Temple Mount may contain records. Before the Babylonian destruction in 586 BCE, Jewish priests would have known the temple was doomed. They had time to hide the most sacred objects. Artistic recreation, priests carrying scrolls into tunnels, ancient texts reference hidden chambers where treasures and scriptures were sealed. The Copper Scroll, a 2,000-year-old document found near the Dead Sea, lists 64 locations where temple treasures were buried. Many have never been found. Close-up, Copper Scroll replica, could they be beneath the mount? Pause, Theory 2, Pre-Israelite structures. The anomalies detected by AI analysis appear older than any known Israelite construction. Some archaeologists theorize they could be Jebusite, the people who inhabited Jerusalem before David conquered it. Ancient map, Jebus, pre-Israelite Jerusalem, the Jebusites left almost no written records. We know they existed, but we know almost nothing about them. Pause, what if their civilization was more advanced than we've assumed? What if the water systems, the tunnels, the chambers, were theirs? Transition, deeper, older stone construction, Theory 3, something older still. This is where speculation enters controversial territory. Pause, a small number of researchers point to anomalies in the geological data. Stone that appears artificially smooth at depths that predate any known human activity in the region. Geological survey imagery, rock strata, annotations. One fringe hypothesis suggests that the site may have been sacred not for thousands of years, but for tens of thousands. Artistic recreation,
Artlist.io.
Neolithic gatherings, standing stones, that it may have been a place of gathering or ritual long before cities, before agriculture, before writing. Comparison, Göbekli Tepe, Stonehenge, megalithic sites. This theory is not widely accepted.
Music
But the data does
licensing
not entirely
reimagined.
rule it out. Pause, Theory 4, Engineered Concealment. Perhaps the most intriguing possibility, that some of the chambers were deliberately sealed, not lost. Animation, stone blocks sliding into place, sealing passages, that ancient engineers created spaces meant to remain hidden until a specific time. Or forever. Fade TO,
Artlist.io.
satellite view of the Temple Mount. Why seal a chamber? To protect something. To hide something. Or, to contain something. Ominous pause, we cannot know until we look. Sound, distant rumble, like stone
Music
shifting.
licensing reimagined.
Every year, millions walk above the Temple Mount. Pilgrims. Tourists. Believers. Slow pan. People praying, children playing, guards watching. Beneath their feet, 35 acres of earth hold secrets we have only begun to glimpse. Transition, 3D scan rotating, chambers glowing, chambers that were sealed when Rome still
Artlist.io.
ruled the world. Tunnels carved by hands that never knew the wheel. Spaces built with a precision we struggle to replicate today. Pause, science has given us the tools to see without digging. To map without disturbing. But
Music
seeing is not
licensing
knowing.
reimagined.
Close-up, computer screen showing scan anomalies, every answer raises 10 more questions. Fade TO, darkened chamber, single shaft of light, what is in those voids? Why were they built? And why, after centuries, does the truth remain so dangerous? Pause, long, perhaps one day, when peace is more certain, when the wounds of
Artlist.io.
history have healed, archaeologists will descend into those depths. Animation, figures with lights, exploring underground, they will walk passages last seen by Herodian builders. Touch walls carved by forgotten hands. And perhaps
Music
they will
licensing
find something that
reimagined.
changes everything we thought we knew. Pause, or perhaps the chambers will remain as they are. Slow zoom into sealed doorway, ancient and weathered, silent. Waiting. Holding their secrets until the stone itself crumbles. Final shot, camera pulls back from the dome of the rock at night, vast and golden, because some mysteries are not meant to be solved.
Artlist.io.
Pause, some truths are buried for a reason. Fade to black, sound, a single, echoing drop of water in vast emptiness, title card, The Forbidden Ground, END.